Noob School. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Noob School. Today I've got my good friend Mike Thacker here. Welcome, Mike.
Good afternoon, John Sterling.
Good afternoon. Good. Mike has been a friend. We counted him up for 23 years.
25.
25. And we started a long time ago when Mike was getting out of school, and he was in inside sales working on my team. And we became friends like instantly. And we've been friends ever since. We've worked together, obviously. I've helped him as he's thought about his different moves in his career, time or two. And all along the way, one of Mike's gifts is he's really good with cars, buying, selling, fixing up cars. And he's helped me with all the cars that my family's bought or sold for the last 25 years. That's a lot of cars.
Yeah, a lot.
And some great ones.
Crashed a few.
We've crashed a few. That's true. So anyway, Mike, I'm glad you're here. And today we're going to talk just a little bit about your career thus far. But really the most interesting thing is where you are now, which is you've finally gone out on your own and started your own kind of high-end high-end car buying and selling service. Is that what you call it?
Brokerage, yeah.
Brokerage. Brokerage. And what's it called?
FiveMT.
FiveMT. Okay, Mike Thacker, because you got five people in your family with the initials MT.
That's correct.
That's so cool. FiveMT. Now, which car does Miles drive now?
Miles has a Lexus.
The Lexus. Now, he used to have that cool Jeep.
He didn't want the Jeep.
That's the one you let me borrow for a while.
I did, yeah. I did.
I was using your son's car.
You were.
And so he's moved on to a Lexus now.
He is.
How old is he?
16, got a band now at Daniel
Nice.
High School. Yep, drummer.
He goes to Daniel?
He does.
He's a drummer? Mm-hmm. And what kind of music are they playing?
Kind of an alternative hipster rock.
Hipster rock. Anything that I would have heard, or is it all like...
They have an album on Spotify now. I'll plug him. Bad Delivery is the name of their band.
Bad Delivery?
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows about Bad Company. You heard that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. God, that's a good name. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Bad Delivery.
5-album EP on Spotify.
Okay.
Or 5-song.
The business I know is doing very well because you're good at it to begin with 25 years ago, but you spent 25 years kind of doing it as a side hustle.
Correct.
Building up your contacts, your knowledge, your bankroll, everything to be able to do that business well. And now you're finally like, let's do it.
Well, confidence too. I mean, like you go from flipping Hondas to Ferraris, it changes the game. a
Yeah,
little bit.
absolutely. But you got to pay your dues.
Of course, yeah,
I
absolutely.
guess one of the great things about a side hustle is you can learn the business without risking the mortgage.
Yeah, but the risk a lot of people don't do is finally ripping that Band-Aid off and
Right.
taking a leap of faith.
Right.
When I noticed my side bankroll was doubling, tripling my salary, I said maybe I should take a little more.
And a rule of thumb, and I've looked this up on a side hustle, is
2x.
Yeah, 2x. So when you're bringing in twice as much with your side hustle than your main job, then you can give it up and not be too worried about it.
Correct.
That's cool. So let's talk about this. You obviously are in a great place now, but it was 25 years of patient work to get to the point where you're comfortable doing it and the side hustle is generating the revenue already. This was not some flyer you took.
Right.
But to get there, Mike started out and spent a lot of years selling software. Pretty sophisticated software to big businesses. And I know you did very well. And then you worked for several other companies. One of them was based in Asia.
Correct. Not software, that was injection mold tooling.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds very difficult.
It was very difficult.
But you got to spend some time in Asia and
I did.
understand that.
2 years.
And then you did take a flyer and you switched and went to high-end real estate sales at some resorts down in Mexico.
Yes.
Tulum?
No, it was Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. That's Carmen by the Sea.
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I've been on my Duolingo.
Riviera Maya was the fancy way they called it.
Riviera Maya. Okay. But in that role, everything that you've done so far, you've learned something. In the software business, I mean, what would you say is the big takeaway from your software sales education?
Solution selling was the biggest takeaway, I think. Just understanding there's more than just the software. It's the problem it's solving. And having that tool that gets them to their end goal. Understanding their needs before you just throw a solution in front of their face.
Yeah.
I think that's one challenge a lot of people have early in their career is just, I want to sell, but take the patience to actually understand their needs, do a needs assessment, and then you'll get a reference out of that account more so than just a deal.
I think it's a great lesson. Of course, it took me a while to learn it too, because we all just, we kind of came out of sports and we wanted to win the deal and get them to sign and all that. And you really got to back up and say, what is it that they want to accomplish?
Correct.
And if they know that you heard them and you understand that, you're about halfway to a close. Because most people don't listen.
The old classic, based on what I heard.
Based on what I heard.
Yeah.
Based on what you told me.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's a very important lesson. Now, what did you learn working for the company based in Asia?
So I'll tell you the biggest thing I learned working in Asia was just because you're a good salesman and you're cocky doesn't mean you can sell. That was a very technical sale.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to understand the mechanics and mold flow of an injection mold tool product. We were doing, minimal sales to local companies, but I've always kind of been an elephant hunter and ended up getting Whirlpool, GE, Husqvarna, still, who makes chainsaws, leaf blowers, once I understood. And then we grew that company 10x from where we started and ended up selling it off. Had an equity piece in that, and it was kind of a game changer. So,
how did you get that equity piece?
It was something that I negotiated in my entry to the organization.
Yeah.
Is if I'm going to be part of this, I need a piece of it, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that may have been something you taught me along.
Yeah, well, I never had to teach you to ask for what you wanted. You're particularly good at that. But it's, I think it's everyone's dream that goes into sales. I mean, you're in sales for some degree to make money, right? I mean, that's why we're in sales. Instead of like traffic cops or something,
Right.
I mean, we're trying to make money, but to try to get a piece of the pie.
Of course.
And once you get a piece of the pie, you want a bigger piece, and pretty soon you're going to be able to have the whole pie.
Correct.
And that's kind of where you are now.
Yeah.
So from there, you went to, we talked about Mexico. Like, what did you learn in Mexico?
Mexico was prior to Asia. But yeah, Asia, when I was in Mexico, it was, luxury real estate.
Yeah. It's like a third home, fourth home kind of thing.
We were $3 to $13 million properties, and these are the folks that it's a want more than a need. They just wanted to have it, and it was fortunately before the market, went in the crapper. So my timing was impeccable, getting out when I did. But it was a great run. I learned a lot. Leap of faith to take that jump over to the Caribbean for a couple of years, but it made moving over to Asia. I was really going back and forth, 3 weeks back, 2 weeks, 1 week back, 4 weeks. I mean, I was back and forth. I had an apartment there in Shenzhen. But it was easier to make that transition. And, I'll encourage any young person in their career, if they have the opportunity to live overseas, it really makes you not only appreciate what you have here stateside, but also when you're negotiating deals, understanding culturally how things work. I mean, so many things are done in Asia. To actually be able to say I was boots on the ground in Asia negotiating deals, you get a respect factor that you don't get from just, Joe Book. Hey, I've read about these deals they do in Asia, but yeah.
Yeah, I've, fortunately gotten to work with lots of salespeople, and the ones that have that experience where they've relocated overseas, they're just different.
Yeah.
They're kind of easier to promote, certainly easier to send to another country.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel like they've seen more. And so, we recommend to the Noob School we recommend that people take a year off before college or at the end of college or whatever and go all the way around the world.
You did that with all your kids, right?
Yeah, all my kids, and I've done it several times. I mean, you need to see it all.
Yeah.
And
You can't learn that.
No, they can't read it. Can't YouTube it. I mean, you got to see it. Let's do it, Mike.
Let's go.
Let's do it. You got a computer you can take with you. You know, you can flip that thing open.
Listen, one of the biggest deals I closed was in another country.
Really?
I can do my job anywhere now,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice. 'Cause I love
What
to travel.
was the biggest car deal you've closed?
Recently, $6.2 million.
6.2 million.
A LaFerrari Aperta, one of 70 in the world.
A what?
Ferrari, LAF,
A LaFerrari,
LaFerrari Aperta
and it's one of 70.
in the world.
What color is it?
Yellow. This one was yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah.
And so, how did you get that lead?
So I, as you know, I've been kind of known as the gotta guy.
Yeah, you got a guy.
And
I know a lot of people.
Just through years of relationships and knowing people, and for whatever reason, people enjoy talking to me, and sometimes divulging information of things they have that they may not tell everyone. And I get these weird requests for certain cars, old Ferraris and new Ferraris. And anyway, this guy was like, "Hey, I'm looking for this particular Ferrari, and it's a very hard car to find, and they're anticipating in the next 5 years it'll be worth like $8 million." So to find one is a task in itself, but to know someone who has two is unheard of. So one had 315 miles, the other one had 187 miles.
Oh my gosh!
And both yellow. One was literally, if we have an opportunity to show the screen, I can show you the picture of it. Was in his dining room, like it was a piece of art.
Really?
Underneath a chandelier. Absolutely.
Wow.
Breathtaking. And it was off market, and that's another big thing is people want cars that aren't advertised when they're that level of net worth. Because it's almost like the line outside of the club, but nobody's in there. You know what I mean? It's the allure of getting something that no one can get. And it was one of the quickest deals I ever did, and it's interesting. Like you think about some of the big deals, the bigger ones are easier to close. Like I've worked harder on a Honda Civic than I did on a $6 million car.
Yeah.
And negotiated everything with the owner, the buyer. Very clean deal, but it just happened recently, and it was mind blowing.
So the final sales price was
6.2.
6.2 million.
6.2.
And can you share with us what the opening offer was?
He wanted to pay six. He wanted to ask 6.4. The other guy wanted to pay 5.9, and they agreed.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, so
That's a pretty strong deal.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
That's nice.
But then, oddly enough, I get a question for a $10 million car after that, but have not been able to find that car. So we'll see what shakes out.
But don't stop looking.
No, I'm not.
Stop looking. So I would say for a lot of our listeners, they would like to be successful at sales. They would like to enjoy what they do, and they'd like to eventually have their career kind of in their own hands. Because I know you, like just about everyone, there was times when you were frustrated with your management and
Of course.
asking for TPS reports and all that kind of stuff. Not when you worked for me. I don't think.
Of course not.
Yeah, of course not. I was too lazy to be a hard ass.
Right.
Yeah, let's do what you want. Let's make your
As long as life was a lot easier if I just hit my number.
Well, that kind of is a beacon for everyone.
Yeah.
If you make your number, you're probably going to be okay.
You get forgiven.
Yeah. Because what does the sales manager want? Talk about what people want. What does the manager want?
I mean, you want to not have to worry about what the person.
Yeah. I mean, you want to do as little work as possible.
Right.
And have the average of your salespeople be the quota, so you'll hit your number.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to manage people that are just doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means, we're switching subjects now, but that means recruiting for a sales manager is probably your most important job.
Yeah.
You can do what you can do. You can do training and coaching and one-on-ones and all that stuff later. But if you got the wrong person, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. My last job before I hung it up, I was a leader of the Southeast, and my number one guy was like a mirror image of me at that age. Like, just crushed it. Like did not want to be bothered and made it very clear not that he didn't want to be bothered, and did not want to be micromanaged at all. But I didn't. I loved managing him because he over-delivered every month.
Yeah, that's good. So you got your own business now, and there was times in the past when you didn't like the process they were making you do in terms of call reports and things like that. Here's a question for you. What's your process now that you're the boss?
So I have to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
And, that's not always been my strong suit. I have it all here, but now I have to really keep track of it. Like now when it goes from side hustle to main hustle, the game changes. So you have to really keep track of what you're spending, where cars are. I mean, I've got 10 in play right now, and they're scattered all over the place. So now it's gotten to a point where I'm like, hey, I probably need to get a warehouse. I don't have cars.
So you have 10 that you own or control.
Yeah.
But I have learned this in talking with you in the past. They're not all sitting at your house. So like you buy one in Indianapolis, you might just leave it there.
Right. I bought a 57 Corvette the other day in Iowa. 2,000 mile car, absolutely stunning. And it's going to Dubai. I've already got it sold, but it'll sit there. There's no reason to move it. It's in a climate control warehouse. I acquired it for the guy, and it's going to get on a boat in the next month or so.
So when you go to Dubai, do you wear like
full gear.
You wear the gear?
No, I'm just kidding.
You need to.
I did when I did desert safari. I wore the whole gear.
Okay. Just thinking when you're dealing with them over there, do American businessmen wear American clothes? And
yeah, I mean, listen,
I haven't been over there. I don't know.
You got it. Yeah.
I skipped that on my worldwide tour.
Do you wear a yarmulke like when you go?
No.
Exactly. So you just got it's a respect thing.
So we've already talked about your training in sales. It sounded like your favorite training was solution selling.
I love solution selling.
Yeah.
And Bill Garcia stuff. I mean, I still use that. The 1 for 10 is one of my favorites.
Yeah. So what he's talking about is tableforce.com. Is it tableforce.com? Bill Garcia, he's got some great practical training, particularly around negotiations. And Bill will teach you to negotiate, not just like we're negotiating a contract, obviously, but like getting the appointment, getting past the gatekeeper.
He and I really clicked from day one.
Yeah.
Like he liked me, I liked him, and we stayed in touch over the years.
Yeah. I'll never forget. I felt so stupid. I was in charge of the damn thing, and we had Garcia in there to teach all of us. And he gives me the little piece of paper and says, "Okay, your job. You got 6 minutes to sell Francois this boat, little thing, whatever." And we got to the end. He goes, "Okay, John, did you sell the boat?" And I'm like, "No, we ran out of time." And Bill goes, "Why didn't you ask for more time?" Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great message for me. I just felt like, well, that was what he said, so that's
right.
No, you ask. I need more time.
Yeah.
So anyway, you wouldn't have fallen for that one.
I'd have sold the damn boat.
You sold the boat, of course you did. Who else do you follow in sales? I know Garcia. I know solution selling is Bosworth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody else you follow?
Ziegler.
Ziegler
is always a good one.
Yeah.
The book we just talked about with the what's the name of that book?
Scott Adams.
Yeah,
Reframe your
Scott
brain.
Adams.
Yeah, we talked about this one
Yeah.
on another day.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of days ago.
Yeah, but it's a great book for attitude adjustment, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. A lot of these.
I mean, the Noob School. I love
Of course, the Noob School.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, you get to see a lot of your old friends on the podcast
it's really
too.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a retread. I'm second time here now.
I know. I don't think anyone's been 3.
I don't know.
Maybe Pace.
Has Pace been 3?
I don't think so.
He will be. He'll be 3.
Yeah, I think Ziegler's a good one, Mike. I mean, I tell folks, I wouldn't recommend they go read like a whole Ziegler book. I mean, no one really's reading big hard books anymore. Most people aren't. But you could just say to Siri, Siri, play Zig Ziglar, and there he is.
Yeah, it's wild.
And you just hear they're little snippets, and they just fire you up.
Yeah. He's
the best.
Yeah. And just, the old check your grip, like just keep getting yourself educated. There's that's one of the things I've loved staying in touch with you, because we may talk about nothing, but I come away with something. You know what I mean?
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was something.
It was something.
So I'll give you my Ziegler story. So he was so famous back in the day. He would travel the country selling out arenas, and you'd pay like $100 to go listen to him. So this was the old Memorial Auditorium,
Oh, yeah.
jam-packed with 5,000 people, me being one of them. And during the talk, he said, I can't wait to get back to the airport. I got to hustle to the airport right when this is over to get on that airplane and go back and see the redhead back in Dallas. I can't wait. So it's over. I go up there, shake his hand, and said, Zig. He goes, yeah, yes, sir. I said, my car is real close to the auditorium. If you'd like, we can just jump in my car. I'll zoom you right out there. You can get on that. Right. And he's like, I appreciate that, but they already got a town car waiting for me. It's right out there, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Fine. So I'm literally driving this old Saab. Now, you didn't sell this to me. This is before Mike.
Right.
I
did sell you a Saab, though.
I'm driving this old Saab home, and it breaks down. And it is so old that people said, you probably there's no need to even fix it.
Right.
So it was gone. And so I wrote him a letter. And I said, it's funny that day, whatever, he wrote me a letter back.
No kidding.
And just said, funny how things turn out for the best, and thank you so much anyway. I mean,
wow.
If you do enough of those small, little thoughtful things like he does or did, it adds up to millions of people.
Absolutely.
That he touched like that. That's a small thing, but
it meant something. It resonated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Zig's the man. Now, one thing I got a bone to pick with you on.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a social media thing of yours.
Okay.
I don't understand why someone who's doing this high-end car thing, brokerage, wouldn't be showing off your stuff.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Okay. You have a theory.
I do. And I see it happen daily on people who are selling this stuff. If you get an opportunity to go on any of the forums or any of the groups of people selling Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, there are so many haters who are just going to destroy your car and talk.
So if you say, I'm selling a 57 Corvette for $18,000, they'll say, that's not worth that kind of thing?
I mean, if you can find one for 18.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, it's just like people are just such keyboard warriors, and they can't afford the gas in the car, much less the car itself, and they just sit there and talk trash. The people who want to find me will find me. And, I may change my mindset. I may hire someone to handle my social media, but for now, I don't need it.
You're doing Where's Thacker on Thursday, right?
I do love that. It's taken off.
That's on Facebook?
It's LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Okay. He does have, you can find Mike. I know it's going to be tough, but you can find Michael J. Thacker, right, on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And he's got something called Where in the World is Mike on Thursday.
Where's Thacker Thursday?
Where's Thacker Thursday? WTT.
Yeah.
And he's usually somewhere around cars, somewhere interesting.
Yeah. Yep. I was in Charleston this week, and I didn't post, but I had a good time down there with some of my friends.
Now, what about these auto auctions? Are they good businesses?
It used to be, but there's so many guys who have kind of jumped on that scene. I have people that I pay to find stuff for me now. Mm-hmm. Cars and garages. I just found an unbelievable restored Porsche the other day that I'm picking up. That you just don't. Off-market cars are where it's at. The stuff that's going through the auction is probably going for a reason because it's got a problem. So
just run it through.
Yeah.
Get what you can.
Hey, old.
Okay. So to get in touch with Mike, LinkedIn's the way to do it. Let's go about a couple more things, Mike. What is your favorite book?
Of course, the Bible.
Is it the Bible?
No, it's Bible's obviously a great book, but the Rhinoceros Success, the one that I got from you, I love that book.
So it's called Rhinoceros Success, and it's kind of half cartoon, half whatever. And it's all about being a rhino,
of course,
versus being a cow.
Correct.
And we want to be rhinos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to charge.
Yeah. That book, you can look at some people and Bach being one of them.
Yeah.
Life changer.
Yeah.
He's got a tattoo of a rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's very quick read, easy to read. Keep it on your desk, but definitely recommend Rhino Success. But one of my favorite pieces of Rhinoceros Success is, the rhino charges through the jungle, and he expects to get nicked by some thorns. And he don't worry about it.
No.
He's like, I've got thick skin and I'm a rhino and I'm going to get nicked and I'm just going to keep going. Instead of like stopping and crying and putting on a Band-Aid and all that stuff. So
charging.
there's a lot of that stuff in there that are good messaging. So I'm glad. That's good. Favorite band?
Oh, man.
Tough one.
You know, I'm a big Floyd guy, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I remember when they came here a long time ago.
Clemson,
The Zeppelin came over.
1994.
94, yeah.
Yeah. Division Bell.
Yeah, it was flying over. I remember. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was at that show.
I bet you were. Favorite word?
Wire.
Wire transfer.
That's right. Money's coming in.
Yeah, so wire is your word now that you're collecting money from Dubai and places like that. First Citizen says it's real, and you're like,
Yeah.
hell, okay. Anything else you want to promote today?
You know, my Airbnb business as well
Oh.
has kind of taken off. What started as a secondary home has turned into the number one Airbnb in Greenville. And then I have a place at the lake as well.
So the Airbnb
Downtown Greenville.
downtown, the one I've been to, that's the number one?
Last 5 years, number one Airbnb in Greenville.
Now, is that just by what measure? Utilization?
Reviews, and there's an award that goes out to best Airbnb in Greenville.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been in
a great spot.
It's been in a couple publications.
Yeah, I remember you gave me the tour over there. It's very nice. It's very near. It's like right downtown, kind of in between downtown and the Poinsett
East
Club.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, you can find more about that from Mike at LinkedIn also, because you won't have social media.
I'm going to be the last guy.
The last holdout. Well, Mike, thanks for coming back and sharing that information with us. We appreciate it, and have to come back and give us an update, and maybe let me drive that fancy car next time.
Okay, for sure.
All right, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you.